All right, guys, you here at the Light Up Podcast. You already know how it go, man. Intros always be awkward, bro. So like, you got
We gonna
you got
get there. We gonna get there.
But, not but we have like a special guest in this building right now.
Oh,
like
sounds so special. Oh,
iconic guest, bro. He's an iconic person. Yes,
iconic. That's crazy.
very iconic, bro. If you was there New Year's, then you was there. You feel me? I don't really gotta talk too much about it, but. City Till right now, my guy got the city on lock, like locally. You feel me? Like it's different when like there's a difference when people are doing shit in the city when it's major, and there's difference when people is doing shit local. Cause I feel like when people do shit more local is better because you got the authenticness. Yes, the authenticness of the city, of the feel, of how shit really is. Like if you really be in the city, then you really know what it is because you pulling up. If you pulling up to one of those events, you know that shit is gonna be litty. You got anything to say to this intro? Like,
let's just get into it. My
right,
boy
we got
is
Birdo
Light Up,
and
we
Light
got Birdo. Birdo in the building,
yes,
bro.
sir,
It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Birdo in the building. Let's clap it up one time for him. One time.
Let's go.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
So
I love that intro. What you said about the organic vibes, because the vibes in New York right now, bro, you could tell who's on an email list and who's outside on the emails and who's outside really because they from New York and they fucking outside.
That is a fact,
for real vibes.
Facts.
That is a fact.
Let's get a little bit into it. Like, tell us what you do. Like,
so I consider myself an event coordinator. A lot of people, they want to kind of like close me into like the promoter lane.
Yeah.
I'm not a promoter because I don't do that shit on a weekly. That's one. So
yeah, I don't jack that to people
it's like
whenever
it's
I
like
tell
a big
them about you and shit.
When you're a promoter, like you live off that nightlife. I'm in the nightlife business, but I don't really I don't have parties every week. I don't live off that shit. Like I have my regular 9 to 5 that I live off of. It's like if parties hits, if I'm not doing parties, I got other shit moving. So it's like I don't consider myself a promoter. I just curate good, nice, big events, bro. That's just what I do.
That's what's
It's not. I don't consider myself a promoter. No. People be telling me all the time, like, yo, how you a promoter? You only got 3 pictures on Instagram, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not a promoter. I'm an event coordinator, bro. Like, if y'all throwing an event and y'all need help, I'm there to coordinate if y'all need help, too.
Like, you organizing
Yeah,
stuff
I'm organizing.
Yeah, of course.
But the parties, since everybody loves the parties, they think it's like, yo, you a promoter. But it's like...
You ever thought about getting in that lane, though, since you pretty much that
I tried
career?
It out in 2022 and did, like, a little weekly thing over the summer.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, like, get my feet wet and kind of, like... I've always tried to dabble in and out of, like, doing, different things. So I tried it out in 2022. I just feel like you got to give too much of yourself, you know what I mean, when you're doing that. You got to be really consistent and you got to be really, really good. Like, I be giving props to the niggas that be doing the weeklies. Because that's, bro, to be in people's DMs. Consistent. Yo, bro, like, that's hard,
You got to send hundreds of DMs, too,
bro,
I imagine.
Hundreds of DMs, hundreds of texts, putting up a flyer every 2 days. You feel
dealing
me?
with
I
people
keep my
too
shit
all the time.
Facts, bro. Like
Shit.
those are different animals. Like I got people that I know that are doing that on a weekly, and I just be tipping off my hat to them. Like, yo, salute you, bro. Because with me, I'm like a nigga. Like I don't like to bother niggas too much.
I'm just saying.
I don't like to do too much either. Like I put out my events. If you fuck with them, if you like them, you coming out. If you don't, then you know what I mean. Like I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna find facts. I'm gonna find a way to fill up the room regardless, bro. Cause like, but do it on my own time. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I don't feel the need to do that shit on a weekly. I do my monthlies, bro. I did 16 sold out events in 2023, bro.
Sheesh. And those events too are like, bro, I'm speaking from the perspective of the audience. You feel me? Of like
the consumer.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like motherfuckers be out here trying to find tickets, or motherfuckers that don't want to go to the party. Like, yo, anybody got tickets they selling? This shit sold out. They're not even charging at the door, bro.
Facts,
for
bro.
his events, bro.
Facts. My shit be really like, and
you
it's
got a name for them?
too.
It's
called, like the name. So let me make the proper introduction. So my name Birdo. I'm from Brooklyn. I do the City is Ours, New York, NYC.
The City is Ours.
City is Ours. That's what we call it.
I like that name. I
fire,
fuck with that concept. The city is ours, and you got the city in the party. That's
exactly.
Great.
And I got the, so the
that.
reason why we call it the City is Ours is because like New York is like y'all from Uptown Bronx and shit like that. I'm from Brooklyn, right? So it's like my purpose of like calling it the City is Ours. Even the logo was like all the boroughs together and shit like that. It's because growing up in Brooklyn, niggas from Brooklyn wasn't really jacking Uptown. Like,
I remember that.
I remember like I had a little girlfriend back in like 7th grade and shit like that. And on the weekends she had family. She was Puerto Rican. Shout out Darlene. She used to go to her family. Fact. Shout out Darlene. she used to go to her family crib, and this was like when the MySpace early Facebook days was like, popping, right? And I remember she used to spend a weekend, you texting on the sidekicks and shit.
Yeah.
I spent the you on AIM and shit. She's like, yo, I spent the weekend in fucking in the Bronx, and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Like that's wavy. You know what I mean? Like
facts.
You live in Brooklyn, you from East New York, but you spending your weekends in the Bronx. That wasn't really too much heard of. It was like all the boroughs kind of like stayed to themselves.
Yeah.
So when I went to fucking high school, my cousin told me to go to Murray Bertram downtown, and he was just like, yo, go to Bertram. Bertram got the bitches. You know when you're young. That's all you fucking
That's all you
want to.
Yeah, that's the high school you want to go to. Yeah, that's where you want to go with the bitches at, bro.
If you picking high schools, nigga, you picking with the hoses.
Yeah, facts.
My cousin was like, bro, they had ratios back in the day when they used to make you pick the schools. It would be like 30% women, 30% men. So Bertram had like a 68% women. So I'm like, yo, that's where we at.
Yeah,
like,
it was like that school, fashion industry,
et cetera.
You feel
me? Like.
Nah, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I applied to fashion industries. They didn't take me, but I wanted to.
LaGuardia too, and they dubbed me.
Fashion industries, I think it's downtown too.
It's by I went to Manhattan Business Academy, so it's Landmark and Landmark High School, but it got broken down to like 3-4 different schools. You feel me? So then fashion industries was like 5 blocks away. So like that's where niggas from my school used to go to school.
Even me coming from downtown, because I was downtown in Bertram, nigga. We used to take the train 2-3 stops, nigga, to go to the fashion industry dismissal. Nigga,
yeah, facts.
And you look at the bitches.
And
so you know how we just all separated. My cousin was like, yo, you in Brooklyn, Bertram got the bitches. So I'm like, I bet. Put Bertram first on my list. He fucking hit me. I put like top 3. It was like all city schools. You coming from the city. So it's like growing up in Brooklyn, bro, everybody knows each other from the neighborhood, and everybody's like super like knit tight. You know what I mean? But people from Brooklyn don't like to really travel.
If you don't mind me asking, what part of Brooklyn exactly?
I'm from East New York and Bushwick.
Oh, okay.
So
I
was
Murder Wyckoff type vibe.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, I was a part of this group, right? It was called like Dessa. It was like this little Bronx running group or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so I used to go to Brooklyn, and I used to go to Murder Wyckoff, but it was
the parties be lit.
Yes, bro.
They had the basement parties.
Yes, the basement parties and all that, bro.
I gotta tell you,
on the Facebook famous doing the little, you feel me? All that type of shit.
My cousin was telling me to go over there, so I'm just like, I bet. You know what? I'm gonna expand my horizons. It's just because everybody from my local high school was going to, from my local junior high school was going to local high schools. Everybody was gonna stay together, all this shit. I'm like, nah, I'm in the city. So when I'm in the city, right, I'm a nigga from Brooklyn. Everybody that goes to school in the city was coming from Dykeman, Uptown, Wash Heights. You know what I mean? Harlem, all this shit. And I'm a Brooklyn nigga. You feel me?
LES.
And you start LES, so you start to experience different people in different boroughs.
Yeah, that's the good part
I'm
about going to school in the city.
Hold on, son, like. You know, it's like you stepping into a whole new world, bro, because you meeting all these new people that you never seen, and they coming from all these different places, bro. Like, all of a sudden, you got homeroom, and you ask a nigga where he from. He's like, yo, I'm from fucking Fordham. You like, what the fuck is Fordham? You feel me? Facts. And then they start pulling out the fucking maps on the train. Like, you start like back in the day. Of course, we didn't have iPhones and shit. They'll start moving, but like, you know what I mean?
You'll go
like
to the
Google,
train while you're taking the train.
Yeah,
or some
exactly.
Shit. Yeah,
like, oh,
you're
I'm from right here. Exactly, right off this train, and they'll start putting you on and shit like that. So that was the whole concept of how I got that shit started. It was kind of like trying to like. Since I got that exposure being from Brooklyn, even now to this day, a lot of people from Brooklyn stay in Brooklyn. They don't really like fuck with the uptown shit. But now it's starting to get. Just the way we breed it in New York, everybody's like, you know, brought up in their hood, and then you know, elementary schools and junior high school, everything's local. People start to more expand when they get to high school. Since we're breeded that way, and then we're all, you know, knit tight. You know, it's like it's bound to happen. You know, everybody's like, it's like when you in jail, everybody sticks together. Like,
facts.
Blacks, you got the Spanish, you got the, you know what I mean, you got the Bloods with the Bloods, the Crips with the Crips. You know what I mean? It's like that. Not to say that, you know, we just conditioned,
but
we just conditioned in that way, bro. And it's not even like so. I wanted to kind of like start this shit up and kind of like bring the city together and give the people that experience, that rich experience that I had, like. You know, in high school, meeting different people. Like, this nigga coming to my parties, he from the Bronx. I'm from Brooklyn.
That's a fact.
There's a Bronx nigga and a Brooklyn nigga partying. You know what I mean? You from Washington Heights, and you sitting here down doing this podcast with me. There's a Washington Heights nigga and a Brooklyn nigga. Like, back in the day, I feel like, even in the rap game, bro, it was like you had 50 from Queens. You had Fat Joe from the Bronx. You had Jay-Z from Brooklyn. You had, you know what I mean? Dipset wanted to be the best from Harlem. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit. like we just conditioned that way in New York, bro. But that shit don't happen nowhere else, bro. If you go to Florida, ain't nobody from fucking Miami trying to beef with niggas from, you know, Hollywood or some shit like that.
Facts.
We just want to be the best. Like, we just breed it that way. Everybody in New York, we just want to be the best. So
that's a fact.
that was just the topic of the city's ours. Like, when I started to get that condition and see that, you know, outside of Brooklyn Love, I'm like, I started the events, and the events just, you know what I mean, grew into that. I came up with the name of the city's ours last minute, too.